After 60, the body no longer responds well to being forced into complex, demanding movements that place multiple joints under stress at the same time, because aging changes how the nervous system prioritizes safety, how joints tolerate load, and how muscles recover from effort, which means the definition of strength must evolve from proving capacity to preserving function. For many people, squats represent effort, discipline, and strength, yet what often goes unnoticed is how easily this movement can shift pressure away from the muscles meant to do the work and into areas that are already vulnerable, such as the knees and lower back. When mobility is limited or balance feels uncertain, the body instinctively finds shortcuts, and those shortcuts rarely involve the glutes, which are designed to stabilize the hips and protect the spine. True strength after 60 is measured by how confidently you can rise from a chair, how steadily you can walk across uneven ground, and how safely you can move through your daily life without hesitation. These abilities depend less on how much weight you lift and more on how well your muscles communicate and cooperate. Exercises that respect aging joints create space for this communication to return. Instead of overwhelming the system, they offer clarity, allowing the brain to reestablish trust in movement and encouraging muscles to activate fully without fear. Targeted glute exercises embody this smarter approach. They simplify movement while deepening its impact, focusing attention on the muscles that quietly determine balance and posture. When the glutes engage properly, the hips align, the spine feels supported, and the knees are relieved of unnecessary strain. This redistribution of effort is not weakness, it is efficiency, and efficiency is the hallmark of longevity. The body was never meant to struggle through every movement. It was meant to move with coordination and purpose. There is also a psychological shift that occurs when exercises feel safe and achievable. Confidence grows, not because the movement looks impressive, but because it feels sustainable. Fear fades, replaced by a sense of capability that encourages consistency. Over time, consistency becomes more powerful than intensity because muscles adapt to what they experience regularly. Even gentle resistance, when applied thoughtfully, stimulates strength, stability, and endurance. Respecting aging joints is an act of wisdom, not surrender. It acknowledges that the body has carried you through decades of life and deserves care rather than punishment. By choosing exercises that align with your current abilities, you create conditions for progress instead of resistance. Strength becomes something you build quietly, day by day, through movements that honor your body's design and support the life you want to continue living with independence, confidence, and ease. The glute muscles sit at the center of the human body for a reason, acting as the bridge between the upper and lower halves and quietly governing how force travels through every step, every rise from a chair, and every moment of balance. When these muscles are strong and active, movement feels natural and controlled, but when they become inactive, the body searches for stability elsewhere, often placing unnecessary strain on the knees and lower back. This shift is especially common after 60, when years of sitting, reduced activity, and protective movement patterns slowly teach the brain to rely on smaller, less suitable muscles for tasks that once felt effortless. Targeted glute exercises offer a direct invitation for the body to relearn what it already knows. By isolating these muscles in simple, controlled movements, you give the nervous system a clear signal about where strength should originate. This clarity matters because muscles do not work in isolation. They respond to patterns. When the brain senses that the glutes are reliable again, it allows the hips to lead movement, restoring a more efficient and protective sequence of activation throughout the body. Balance improves not because the legs are stronger, but because the foundation beneath them is more stable. As glute activation returns, posture begins to change in subtle but meaningful ways. The pelvis finds a more neutral position, The spine feels supported rather than compressed, and standing requires less effort. This alignment reduces the constant background tension that many older adults accept as normal discomfort. With less strain on the joints, movement becomes smoother and more confident, and daily tasks feel less taxing on the body's reserves. There is also a profound reduction in knee and lower back stress when glutes are doing their job. Instead of absorbing forces they were never designed to handle alone, these areas are supported by the powerful muscles of the hips. This redistribution of load protects cartilage, ligaments, and discs, allowing them to function without being overworked. Over time, this protection can mean fewer flare-ups, greater comfort, and a renewed willingness to move. Beyond the physical changes, targeted glute exercises restore something equally important: trust. Trust between the brain and the body, built through movements that feel controlled and safe. This trust encourages fuller muscle engagement and reduces the guarding behaviors that often limit progress. When movement feels secure, the body stops bracing against itself and begins to cooperate. Strength, stability, and confidence grow together, creating a foundation that supports not just exercise, but the freedom to move through life with ease and assurance. Consistent, gentle glute training reaches its full potential only when the body is supported from the inside, because muscles are living tissue that rebuild and strengthen based on the quality of the signals and nutrients they receive each day. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to what it is given, and this sensitivity can be a strength rather than a limitation. When nourishment is adequate, muscles respond willingly, inflammation settles, and recovery becomes smoother, allowing even light exercise to create meaningful change. Protein plays a central role in this process, not as a tool for building bulk, but as a foundation for repair and resilience. Each time the glute muscles are activated, tiny adaptations occur that require amino acids to rebuild stronger fibers. Spreading protein intake evenly throughout the day supports this renewal without overwhelming digestion. Whether it comes from fish, eggs, dairy, legumes, or plant-based sources, protein tells the body that it is safe to invest energy in maintaining muscle rather than breaking it down. Vegetables and fruits add another layer of support by supplying vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that protect muscles and joints from chronic inflammation. As the body ages, low-grade inflammation can quietly interfere with recovery and movement, making exercise feel harder than it should. Colorful produce helps calm this internal noise, allowing muscles to respond more clearly to training. Healthy fats further enhance this environment by supporting hormone balance and joint lubrication, contributing to smoother, more comfortable movement. Hydration is often overlooked, yet it is essential for muscle function. Water supports circulation, nutrient delivery, and the elasticity of muscle tissue. Even mild dehydration can increase stiffness and fatigue, reducing the effectiveness of exercise. By staying well hydrated, the body remains responsive and adaptable, capable of translating gentle glute exercises into lasting strength. Protein and movement work together as partners, but they are sustained by rhythm rather than intensity. Regular meals, consistent exercise, and adequate rest create a predictable environment in which the body thrives. This rhythm reduces stress on the nervous system, allowing muscles to recover fully and adapt steadily. Over time, this approach builds strength that feels natural and reliable. When gentle glute training is paired with thoughtful nourishment, the body receives a clear message of care and intention. It is not being pushed to perform, it is being supported to improve. This partnership between exercise and diet transforms small efforts into meaningful progress, reinforcing the truth that after 60, strength is not built through extremes, but through steady, compassionate attention to what the body truly needs. Light daily activity and supportive lifestyle habits create the environment in which strength can grow quietly and consistently, especially after 60, when the body responds best to regular signals rather than occasional extremes. Movement no longer needs to be intense to be effective. It simply needs to be present. A daily walk, gentle stretching in the morning, or a few minutes of balance practice tells the nervous system that movement is still a normal and expected part of life. These small actions keep joints lubricated, muscles responsive, and circulation flowing, reducing stiffness and fatigue before they have a chance to settle in. Sleep plays an equally vital role in this process because it is during rest that muscles repair, nerves recalibrate, and the body integrates the benefits of exercise. Quality sleep supports hormone balance and reduces inflammation, allowing light training to feel productive rather than draining. When sleep is prioritized, even modest physical effort can lead to noticeable improvements in strength and stability. Without it, the body struggles to adapt, and progress feels slower and less rewarding. Exposure to natural light and time spent outdoors further enhance these benefits. Sunlight supports vitamin D production, which is essential for bone health and muscle function. Being outside also improves mood and reduces stress, subtly influencing how the body responds to movement. A calm nervous system allows muscles to engage more fully and recover more efficiently, turning simple activities into meaningful contributors to overall health. Reducing long periods of sitting is another powerful yet often underestimated habit. Sitting for extended stretches encourages the glutes to disengage and circulation to slow. Standing up regularly, shifting positions, or taking short movement breaks reactivates muscles and reminds the body how to support itself. These interruptions may seem small, but over time they prevent the gradual weakening that comes from inactivity. Together, these lifestyle choices form a foundation that amplifies the effects of exercise without adding strain. They work quietly in the background, supporting the body's natural rhythms and reinforcing its capacity to adapt. When light activity, restorative sleep, sunlight, and mindful movement are woven into daily life, strength develops organically, not as a forced outcome, but as a natural response to a supportive environment that encourages the body to move, recover, and thrive with ease. A positive mindset is often the most overlooked yet most powerful factor in physical health after 60 because the way you think about your body directly shapes how it responds to movement, challenge, and change. Many people carry an unspoken belief that aging automatically means decline, and over time, this belief influences behavior, reducing effort, curiosity, and confidence. The body listens closely to these signals. When movement is approached with fear or resignation, muscles hesitate and the nervous system becomes overly protective, limiting strength before it has a chance to develop. Shifting this mindset does not require ignoring limitations or pretending youth has returned. It begins with curiosity and patience, with the willingness to explore what the body can still learn. When you approach exercise as a conversation rather than a command, the body responds with cooperation. Targeted glute exercises exemplify this relationship, offering movements that feel achievable and safe, which encourages trust to rebuild. Each successful repetition reinforces the idea that progress is possible, even if it unfolds gradually. This trust changes how effort is perceived. Instead of viewing exercise as something to endure, it becomes something to engage with. Attention shifts from discomfort to sensation, from outcome to process. This presence reduces stress and allows muscles to activate more fully. Over time, the nervous system becomes less guarded, opening the door to greater strength and stability without force. A positive mindset also supports consistency, which is the true driver of long-term change. When exercise feels manageable and rewarding, it becomes part of daily life rather than a task to avoid. Small successes accumulate, building momentum and reinforcing confidence. This confidence extends beyond physical movement, influencing posture, balance, and the willingness to stay active in social and outdoor settings. Equally important is self-compassion. The body over 60 carries decades of experience, adaptation, and resilience. Treating it with respect acknowledges its history while supporting its future. Rest days are no longer signs of weakness, but strategic choices that allow recovery and growth. Listening to discomfort becomes a guide rather than a barrier, helping refine movement instead of stopping it altogether. When mindset, movement, and intention align, aging transforms from a narrative of loss into one of refinement. Strength becomes quieter yet more reliable. Confidence becomes steadier rather than showy. Life is lived with greater ease, not because challenges disappear, but because the body and mind work together in harmony, creating a sense of capability and calm that supports independence and well-being in every stage ahead.